This is the hint video for Year 11 Homework 6. First question, upper and lower bounds. Says 1 decimal place on this first question, so we're going to be looking in the second decimal column and thinking about the biggest and smallest that number could be. The smallest it could be is 5.25, and you need to think about the biggest it could be. Remember that trick I taught you in class about how to add and subtract something from each number to find the upper and lower bound. That'll work on all of them. If we take question B as an example, it says the nearest centimetre, so I could just add and subtract half a centimetre. You can basically half whatever it says here and add and subtract that value to find the upper and lower bounds. From question C, you're going to add and subtract half a millimetre, and so on. On to question 2. To rearrange that recurrence relation, as usual, you need to look at the target. It's got x squared on the bottom. This original question here, that there, does not have any fractional elements, so I need to create fractions, and I could do that by dividing through by x squared, and hopefully if you do that you'll start to see how you might then move that recurrence relation around to create what you need. On to question 3. I've suggested in the homework video to look online at possible iteration questions that you might be able to find. There hasn't been many past papers yet because this exam's relatively new, but you might be able to find sample questions. If you think about the questions I gave you in class and the sorts of things that have been cropping up on homework, particularly the bit once you've got a recurrence relation and when you're asked given x0 to find x1, 2, 3, 4, 5, think about what questions are like and see if you can write a sentence or two to explain them. On to question 4. Sine rule. I'll give you the formula. You've got to name the sides first, so let's call this side A, and this angle A. I could call this side B, and this angle B. And if I told you I'm trying to find B, the side Q, so B over the sine of angle B equals A over the sine of angle A. You can rearrange that formula to make it B equals something, and you would do that by multiplying through both sides by sine B. That ends up there. So you end up with B equals A sine B over sine A. If you substitute into that, you'll be able to get your answer, and write that down, then round it to 2 decimal places. On to question 5. 3 consecutive even numbers is a multiple of 6. When you add them together, well, one even number is 2n. You need to think about what the next even number would be, and the next one after that, and then add them together. Look in your proof dictionary for some definitions that might help there. And remember, if we're proving something's a multiple of 6, we should end up with something like that. On to question 6. The nth term of that sequence, I'll start you off with that, and I'm not going to give you much more. The nth term, it goes up in 4s, so it's 4n minus 1, that sequence there. So that's going to give you 1 term of your sequence. Now it says the difference of the squares of consecutive terms. So actually, that's one of the terms I just wrote down, so that would be the square of one of its terms. What I need to do is take that away from the square of the next term in that sequence. And once you get the algebra down there, it's simply a matter of expanding both sets of double brackets and subtracting carefully, and then collecting things together and factorising. Again, you should end up with, at the end, 8 lots of something. If you get that, you've got it right. That's it. A few little hints on those questions to help you. Remember to come and see me if you need more help. Good luck.